Renger van der Zandt, Philippe Albuquerque, Felipe Nasser, Misha Goikberg, all right behind. Here we go, 6 hours. The Sahlens at the Glen is underway, and the two Mazdas get the jump on the inside. Tignall trying to get around, almost makes contact, and the Acura is able to clear. Ricky Taylor in second, and Jarvis is off.
Ricky Taylor got a little bit of a break there. He didn't get the best start. Tignall was right behind his teammate, had to be conservative, and that allowed Ricky to get to his flank.
The Corvettes got swallowed up on that start. We got a big wreck already. Oh!
So close there. That Porsche just narrowly missed him. Contact further back with Ben Keating.
Keating clipped him.
Let's take a look here. As the Porsche gets to the inside, clips him. Relatively cold tires. Tommy's along for the ride now. BMW just misses him, AJ.
And it's so narrow through the S's up there. Once something happens, trying to get everybody to avoid it. One car there avoids it. I'm not sure which one that is, but Ben Keating, unfortunately, got involved. I think that was the 540.
Well, these drivers are being super antsy and aggressive for a 6-hour race. Oh, no. Drama for the championship leader. They get together. Was that the 10 car or the 5? Saw a black Cadillac taken off from that incident.
I think it was the 5.
I think that's the teammates.
Wow.
Contact.
Heel of the boot.
He was putting pressure on Renger van der Zandt at the start of the lap after the restart.
That was a battle for 4th. And it's a full course yellow.
Oh, he's got a flat left rear. I think he's got a flat left as he came into there.
He couldn't turn.
You're exactly right there, Calvin. I'm not sure if he had contact prior to that, or maybe some of the debris that had happened that they ran through had cut down a left rear tire, because you can see he was aggressive on the start, trying to get around the 10 car. Listen to here.
Yeah, it's just locked up. He loses the cross weight in the car when that happens. It's like having a chair and having one leg's a little bit shorter. It suddenly gets unstable under braking.
And that's what happens when you have a big accident. You always have to be careful as a driver, trying to run through the scene of the accident to not run over any debris. And Garcia running behind the whole time in third here. He can start saving fuel. So if he knows that he can't really get around him, although he's got to run here, this might be his best opportunity. Down into the bus stop, he's going to be under him completely. John Edwards going to have to give that pass up. So great move by Antonio Garcia, but going back to the point of, he could have been saving fuel there so that as everybody starts to pit, maybe he can go a lap longer.
So there's something on the track, Kevin.
One of the JDC Millers, it's the 85 car, is off. The Cadillac. Misha Goikberg started. Is he still in the car? Yes, he is.
Turn 9, I believe.
Yeah.
As we take another look at what happened to Misha here. That's a weird one. No other car involved, and he loses it. The other one, I'm not sure it was a tank slap when we saw the very end of it into that brake zone up there. It's not a big brake zone for these DPI cars, but
yeah, that's weird, because and you're not carrying a ton of speed out of turn 8.
It's the slowest corner on the racetrack. This is the 84 car. We were just talking about Steven Simpson's pace. He's run afoul of some GTD traffic here. See the damage to the right rear corner. Looks like the tire is off the rim as well.
Calvin,
actually it's not. It's down. It's not completely off the rim. It's certainly coming off the bead there a little bit. Let's take a look at what happens here. Coming out of the inner loop there, and I would imagine that Simpson made a commitment to the inside of the 44 car. John Potter behind the wheel. May not have been the gap to make the move.
There's damage on the left front there. Simpson probably trying to go around the outside. Talking about Justin Marks too. He's always on a busy schedule. He's just usually climbing some mountain somewhere. See all kinds of stuff on social media where he's doing huge mountain climbs. So he's definitely in shape here. Trying to get back into form of driving
to the inside.
Oh, great move there.
Justin just got a little bit wide in the middle of the inner loop and then just paid the price on that last curb, and Thielen saw it beautifully. There goes Conway, he's going to go for it.
Trying to get back on the lead lap. Mike Conway, you know he's fast. This is his chance right here. Some GTD traffic right in front of them. Will this be used as a pick? Conway with the run up to the heel of the boot.
This is the key. If Bomarito can keep him behind here, I think he may have now got enough tire temperature and pressure to play with and have the pace.
Montoya is right there as well.
You can see Bomarito through turn 7, that car dancing. The Mazda car trying to get all the grip it could to the rear tires here. It's tough to pass in this section. So Mike Conway's best opportunity try to hang on through turn 11, but the dirty air behind that Mazda is really going to affect these two cars.
All right, when that goes away, the 6 Acura Team Penske is here. There'll be a driver change. Juan Pablo Montoya getting out, Dane Cameron getting in. I will say, this is pretty soon for a pit stop. See the Mazda go by behind us, the 77, the call that it was just made by Brian Till. I think they're pouring the coals of this. I think that they're using a lot of VP Racing fuel to make sure they stay with the Mazdas. This is a little bit on the early side, but why not? Turn up the heat as long as you're on the lead lap and see if you can go after it. They're going with brand new sticker Michelin tires, and Dane Cameron's underway.
Speaking of drama, there was some just a moment ago with the number 7 Team Penske Acura of Helio Castroneves.
We see Helio trying to make a move on the LMP2 car. Is at the 52 car, trying to get under him. We see at the start-finish line, Helio's pretty far back, going to try to dive under him. At this point, I think he's pretty far under him, but the car doesn't see him, turns down. Helio's already there, big contact, they both spin.
And Townsend Bell contributing to the broadcast. That was his in-car we got the look from. It's been reviewed, no action taken.
That's a tough call there, and that's what the high speed of Watkins Glen and Calvin, we've spoke about this at length. You have to make such quick reactions.
Take a look how the lead changed in GT Le Mans, AJ.
Got to run down the front straightaway here. Antonio Garcia kind of does the undercut on him. Lets Lawrence Van Thor get in there a little too deep. Turns under him. Is able to get him and clear him back through the S's here. At this point, he's already made the pass. Going to go around the Turner Motorsports BMW. Worked out perfect for Antonio Garcia. He's on the inside. Lawrence can't go back to the outside. Leader, now he's already stretched out about 5 to 6 car lengths on him. This 10 car's been quiet all day. A solid day is what they've needed. Oh, we have a big wreck there. That's a damage. Looks like the Tom Blomqvist that was running second in the GTLM class. Contact with the 38 LMP2 car.
And that's the second car, the 52. Aubrey is leading in LMP2.
Blomqvist is actually in the lead there, so I'm not sure if he had gotten to the lead and then had contact, but he is now leading over Patrick Pilet, but heavy front end damage. The hood kind of come undone, so it's gonna be interesting to see if he can keep going or gonna have to pit.
Has Pilet got a problem? Because I don't understand how they exchange positions with Blomqvist hitting the other car. Seems to be up to speed okay.
Well, if you look in the background there, Pilet might have grass all over his car as well.
Let's take another look at this. 38 car going to the inside of Blomqvist. Pilet's defending all the way inside. 38 goes inside of Pilet first. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so Evans.
Oh, he got both of them.
Got both of them.
Evans in way too deep. Never going to make that pass.
Got older tires, not as much fuel on board. So again, that 77 call when they pitted, or didn't pit, should I say, and went a little bit off sequence to everyone else. Is that going to backfire on them in terms of the potential win? But Mazda's right now hold steady at the front.
Pla had to check up just a little bit on the entry to the S's there behind the WeatherTech Ferrari. Jarvis got to run. Pla going to defend. Jarvis will back out early, make sure they don't go side by side here into the bus stop.
Cameron's now 14 seconds behind in the third place, number 6 Acura. And he doesn't have as much fuel on board. So right now, Mazda have all of the cars to play with in terms of the fastest car, the track position, and better fuel.
And just moments ago, we had a frightening incident on pit lane with Connor DeFilippi in one of the Ray Hall Letterman BMWs on pit lane. And you saw the crewman on fire there. His shoe was on fire in his leg. And DeFilippi will hop out of the car. Scary stuff. Oh, look at that.
He sees the flames and then he gets told to get out. I think these were going to be the first team to pit and make it to the end without another stop for a splash of fuel. But it just goes awry on them. They're looking at the front bodywork. They're trying to get a fix done on that and taking a splash of fuel, but something went wrong. Well, we talked about one of the keys to victory was commitment. Oh, and commitment there. Tingle to the inside. He surprises Montoya, but they're both off the road. Will they give it to him?
And pieces go flying. Mazda is back in front, looking for their first win in prototype.
But remember what the race stewards told us. If you gain position by exceeding those track limits, will they take it back? He forced Montoya out there. He had to use all of the road to make that pass stick. Critical call for the race director right now.
See here, Harry Tinknell Gets a small run. This isn't it. He's been closer, but this time he says, I'm sending it. Gets in the corner, but he's so deep in. They both run wide. Harry Tincknell, 4 wheels just over the curbing, and that's where Bo Barfield talked about. If they get over the curbing, all 4 wheels, that's exceeding track limits.
Just over 20 minutes remaining, and yeah, as we guessed, we're not thinking Earl Bamber, the 912, can make it, but keep an eye on GTLM because Antonio Garcia in the 3 Corvette was about 3 seconds behind a few minutes ago, and now it's just over a second, so that one's not done yet. We don't see how the 8 Audi is going to make it, so then it's maybe the Meyer Shank Racing Acura in charge, but Bill Auberlen is still going to have a chance in GTD too. All eyes on the prototypes. 1 lap remaining. Mazda 3.4 miles away from victory, and Oliver Jarvis is still right there, and there's some traffic for Harry Tincknell to deal with.
Ollie Jarvis just showing a nose, maybe trying to force his teammate into his mistake.
Montoya, by the way, has made up a little bit of ground. He was 18 seconds back a few laps ago. Now he's 12 seconds back. A little look to the inside for Jarvis on the final lap. Not close enough, going down to the bus stop.
This will be the longest minute of John Doonan's life.
I'm pretty sure, I'd be shocked if Ollie Jarvis really dives the car down in there, but every time he moves out, he's just trying to get Harry Tincknell to look in the mirror. Maybe just glance in the mirror at the wrong time, make a mistake, because that's going to be his opportunity to pass him.
Traffic be a factor. How will Harry read this last half lap and bring it home?
Through the toe of the boot for the last time.
This is probably the last real opportunity, unless Harry Tincknell gets held up, for Ollie Jarvis to get around him. Looks under, just trying to get in his mirrors again, but there is some traffic.
What does Tincknell know? What has Tincknell been told by his team how to handle this traffic? Can he just give it up and just cruise? Does he know that Jarvis is just going to wait?
And that's the GTLM race right in front of them.
Are these guys going to pass the GTLM cars coming the line, or at least the Corvette, and ruin a chance for Antonio Garcia to get around him?
I don't think so.
The Juncos prototype is between the 2 GTLM leaders. Final corner. The wait is over. Mazda has won a 1-2 finish in the Sahlen 6 hours at the Glen. Harry Tincknell has done it for Mazda. And the celebration begins. Meanwhile, we watch the other classes, and this is the GTD finish. Still 1-2 with the Acura in front. Mario Farnbacher. Bill Auberlen looking for win number 59. Does he have enough? 1 more corner to go. Farnbacher stretches it out, and Mario Farnbacher, Meyer Shank Racing in Acura, is going to win at the Glen.
Fantastic stuff. We've still got one battle raging out there in GT Le Mans. Can Nick Tandy hang on? Garcia digging deep for everything he's worth. He hasn't seen victory lane in some 21 months. Can he bring it home for Corvette?
Antonio Garcia is going to have to get close enough. He's going to have to make a bold move, send it to try to win this race.
They had almost an entire lap on their own. Still other cars and other traffic, but they were just ahead of the overall winners.
We have a slower DPI car right here. Is that going to cause him to check up?
He'll get out of the way. That's one of the JDC Millers.
Tandy just a fierce competitor. What a day for that group. From the back to the front.
Tandy gets through here clean. Turn 10, turn 11, it's going to be close. It's going to be tough for Garcia to get around him.
He's still within range if Tandy makes a mistake. Antonio Garcia pushing. Nick Tandy taking it to the finish. Back on the main straightaway. It's not 3 in a row for the 912, but it's 4 in a row for Porsche. The 911. Nick Tandy wins for the second time in 2019.
Cadillac just can't figure out what it has to do to finally win one of these again. Antonio Garcia, Jan Magnussen, they had the car outright to win this race, and once again Porsche figured out the strategy to steal it.
Hey Motorsports fans, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe before you go for all the latest news and highlights across motorsports.